All right, Spurs lose 109 to 103 to the New Orleans Pelicans again. Second game in a row that we've lost to New Orleans. I'll just say if our team was all in the military, we'd probably all be together in a dark green, large armored vehicle. We'll just kind of put it like that, if y'all catch what I'm saying. So here's Jeremy, the Cookie Monster Sohan. I couldn't find a more recent picture of him with the blue hair. I think he's actually in his college jersey here, but just wanted to find Jeremy with the blue hair. First impressions of the game again. I'll get to the box score here in a second, but my first impressions before looking at the numbers. Number one thing, I've been complaining about this video after video. Comment below if you agree, but Stephon Castle did not get enough minutes out there again. I don't know if he has some sprained ankle. I think he did roll his ankle. It was probably like 5 or 6 games ago now, but he didn't sit out for it or anything like that. I don't know if he has some underlying injury we don't know about that the Spurs aren't disclosing or what it is. But my thing is the number one goal of ours right now, in my opinion, should be to develop Stephon Castle with Wembanyama being out. I think Victor will be fine. Next season, Brandon Ingram had the same type of deep vein thrombosis in his shoulder, just like Wembanyama has. I think it's a serious thing, of course. Blood clots aren't something to not take seriously. But everything we're hearing from the Spurs staff, they located it very early. They're already treating Wembanyama, of course, and he looks like, or at least our staff is optimistic that he's going to be good to go, early for next season. So, like I said again, if we were all in the military, we'd be operating a large dark green armored vehicle again. But if we're all operating that large armored vehicle, we should have Stephon Castle as the gunner at least. He should be getting as much experience as he can, being on the big gun there. So I just don't understand it. It seems like a political thing almost now, or Mitch Johnson just doesn't want to tell Chris Paul to go ahead and sit down. I like Chris Paul a lot. He's helped our team a lot, developing, especially helping Stephon Castle develop. But we should bring him off the bench. One thing we could do, we could even bring Stephon Castle and Chris Paul in at the same time when De'Aaron Fox sits out. But I harp on it over and over, video after video, but having De'Aaron Fox and Chris Paul out there at the same time just doesn't make any sense. They're both veteran guards. Chris Paul probably has better basketball IQ than De'Aaron Fox, but De'Aaron Fox is very high basketball IQ. De'Aaron Fox doesn't need Chris Paul coaching him, to be honest. Not to say that he can't learn anything from Chris Paul. He's probably already learned some things from him, just in the time he's played with him already. But Stephon Castle could use Chris Paul a lot more to help him develop than De'Aaron Fox could. So I'd rather have Stephon Castle out there on the court, by himself without De'Aaron Fox or Chris Paul, in my opinion, so we can just go out there, just be baptized by fire and just learn. We saw early in the season he was getting a lot of a lot of minutes on his own before we got De'Aaron Fox, and he was turning the ball over. He was making rookie mistakes, and he wasn't playing great some of the times, and some of the times he was playing great and just bumping people off with his shoulder and doing crazy deceleration steps and getting all sorts of crazy finishes in the paint. And you can just see all the flashes from Stephon Castle. But let me know below what you think. But again, he was getting 25, 30 minutes pretty much every single game, it felt like, early in the season. We'll get to Sohan in a second, but same thing. Sohan was getting 35 to 40 minutes every single game. He did agitate his back, so I guess he's still on minutes restriction with his back injury. But I've made the point before, early in the season, I think we were playing too good, to be honest. We didn't anticipate to be playing so well. We got more wins than we thought we would early in the season, and honestly, I hate to say it, I think our staff kind of freaked out, and they were like, man, we gotta shake these lineups up. Julian Champagne's minutes all of a sudden dipped like out of nowhere. He was playing like 30 minutes every game, and all of a sudden he's playing like 15 to 20 minutes now. That probably happened like a month and a half ago. Ever since we got De'Aaron Fox, he's always in there with Chris Paul. We're just not playing lineups that give us the best chance to win right now. Again, let me know below what you think, but I've been watching the Spurs for a long time. I've been watching the Spurs my whole life. I don't know more about basketball than Chris Paul or Mitch Johnson or probably any of the players on the team. Pick any player on the team, they probably know more than basketball about me. If you gave Chris Paul some like truth serum or gave Mitch Johnson some truth serum, they'd probably tell you, hey, these lineups are playing right now. They are not the absolute best lineups for us to win games. Because let me know what you think below, but you just can't convince me that having De'Aaron Fox and Chris Paul out there at the same time, and then a lot of the times you have Stephon Castle out there, so De'Aaron Fox, Chris Paul, and Stephon Castle, three guys that really can't knock down threes. They're not good three-point shooters. None of those guys are spot-up shooters, and then you just turn, when one of them has the ball, you turn the other two into spot-up shooters. Only Stephon Castle, he's the best at playing off the ball out of those three guys. I'd say just kind of making backdoor cuts and whatnot. Maybe De'Aaron Fox, but y'all probably already know what I mean if you've been watching the games. It just doesn't make any sense. Just throughout the whole lineups we're playing, we'll get into it right now, but we're just not playing the lineups to give us the best chance to win. And again, I think we're tanking, to be honest. Because like I said before, we were playing some really good lineups to start the season. Of course, Wemby's out now. That's the one thing you can point to, which is the easiest reason to say we're tanking. But even when Wemby was out there, we're playing the De'Aaron Fox, Chris Paul lineups. We weren't putting the best possible lineups we could around Wemby. Here, we'll get right to it. Real quick, too, I'm at 28 subscribers. I'm trying to get to 30 by the end of the day, and YouTube said they're going to send me a diamond ring, so please like and subscribe. All right, we'll get started with Harrison Barnes. It was either last game or the game before where he had 0 points. He missed all of his shots. I said I wasn't worried. I'm honestly never worried about Harrison Barnes. He bounces back, 15 points, only took 9 shots, 50% from 3, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. I mean, great game from Harrison Barnes. This is kind of what we expect from him. Maybe not every single night, but something like this, you can really count on Harrison Barnes. Bismack Biyombo's a veteran. That's another thing. We could have been playing Bismack with Wemby. He would fit really well next to Wemby. Honestly, like the perfect play style fit next to Wemby. I'm sure there's more talented players that play the same style as Bismack Biyombo that would fit better next to Wemby than Bismack, just because they're more talented, whatever it is. But Bismack with the 10 points, 12 rebounds, didn't have a block out there, but he is a pretty solid shot blocker, and he's 5 for 7. Just super efficient out there. Another double-double. He has back-to-back double-doubles. Like I was saying, he set super hard screens. He does dirty work in the paint. He loves to cut. Chris Paul, De'Aaron Fox, they pretty much instantly clicked with him. They have really good chemistry with him. And, if you had, once Wemby's back, if you had Wemby sitting out here on the wing, and then it would be De'Aaron Fox next season, but De'Aaron Fox and Bismack running the pick and roll, De'Aaron Fox is going to blow right by his guy. Bismack cuts down the middle. Someone's going to be open, whether it's Wemby out on the wing, kick him for a 3. De'Aaron Fox can get a wide open layup, or he's going to have an easy dump off pass to Bismack for a layup or a dunk. So let me know what y'all think about Bismack, but pretty much exactly what we need. He's been playing great, and that's another reason I think we're tanking, because we picked him up on the 10-day contract, and he never, I'm pretty sure I'm right, he never saw the floor with Wemby. Like, we started playing him after Wemby went out with his deep vein thrombosis. But I love what I'm seeing from Bismack Biyombo. I'm hoping we keep him for next season, because he's just playing great for us. I see no reason why wouldn't give him at least a 1-year contract for next season and just see how it goes for him, because Bismack doesn't make stupid mistakes out there. He's always in the right spot. You're not going to see him spotting up in the corner or something, or lost out there like, oh, where should I be on the court? He sets hard screens. He hard fouls at the rim. He's not trying to hurt anybody, but no one's getting an easy dunk on Bismack Biyombo. If you dunk on him, it's going to be an and one, because he's gonna slap the crap out of your arm at least. But yeah, I love Bismack out there. Chris Paul, 12 points, 10 assists, 2 steals, 2 turnovers. He's 4 for 7 from the field, 3 for 6 from 3. Good game by Chris Paul. But again, I just want to see him out there by himself, or with Stephon Castle. I don't want to see him out there with De'Aaron Fox. It just doesn't make any sense. Again, I love what Chris Paul has brought for us. this season, I think he could still help our team for the rest of the season. We're not pushing for the playoffs or the play-in. I think it's safe to say that now. We lost back to back to the Pelicans. What are they, the 14 seed in the West? So just kind of is what it is there. But yeah, just a great game by Chris Paul, to be honest. Double double with points and assists. We've seen that multiple times this season where he does that. But again, come off the bench and do that for us, or stagger him and De'Aaron Fox's minutes better. Makes no sense to start those two right next to each other again. De'Aaron Fox just it was a bad game. I don't think I'll use the word terrible, but just a really bad game. Offensively, super inefficient. Takes 21 shots and only scores 15 points. I guess you can call it a terrible game. Has the 6 turnovers as well, so you see that. 1 for 9 from 3. Yeah, you can use the word terrible. That's fine. But then he was great on defense, honestly, but he was just so bad on offense and didn't really make up for it. 6 steals and 6 turnovers, so you can say he had 0 turnovers because the 6 steals, made up for his 6 turnovers. He had some bad turnovers out there, though. There was one, he just dribbling, he tries to go behind his back, and, his right hand just misses the ball, and he just lost it. Wasn't even in traffic. I think he had at least 2 turnovers like that where he just lost the handle with the dribble. His shot wasn't going down, obviously. His 3 ball was off. His mid-range was off. He was getting to the shots he wanted a lot of the time. He just wasn't making them. He was off finishing at the rim. He did have a nasty breakaway. It was him one-on-one with CJ McCollum, and De'Aaron's coming down at him, and he does I can't even describe it. It was like an insane Euro step he did. I don't even know. He hit him with like an in and out, and then he kind of picked up the ball, and if you saw the play, you know what I'm talking about. It was so weird. It was just a crazy Euro step. He completely lost CJ McCollum, and I think he got an and one at the rim on that play. But I think we should let De'Aaron Fox get his surgery within the next 5 games. I don't know if you want to keep playing him. Let him get his surgery. Let him sit down. Get his fingers right. I don't know if his fingers are. I'm not gonna say that's totally the reason why he had a bad game, because we've seen him have great games. His first game with the Spurs was a great game. He's had other great games with us already too. So I'm sure De'Aaron wouldn't blame his fingers. He'd be the first person to tell you that's not an excuse he's gonna use. But just get your fingers right. Just get your surgery, De'Aaron. Get rested up. We'll get you back next season with Wemby healthy. We'll make the off-season moves we're gonna make, and then we'll just see how it looks. But let me know what you think below on that too. I think De'Aaron should get his surgery. Just kind of hang it up for this season, then come back, come back next season healthy with Victor. But yeah, just a bad game from De'Aaron. He was a dog on defense though. He was getting all sorts of crazy steals, ripping ball handlers, playing the passing lanes really great. He got one steal. It was like the Manu Ginobili type of steal where they pass the ball. He's not even looking at the ball, but he just kind of sticks his hand out like this, and he kind of what do you call it, extending the passing lane. He stuck his hand out in the passing lane. Didn't even see the ball, but he just knew, if a pass is coming, that's where it's going to be. And he got like a blind steal, if that makes sense. But yeah, I'm not worried about De'Aaron. He'll be fine, especially once Wemby comes back. All the gravity Wemby will bring is really going to unlock De'Aaron's game again. Vassell, bad game for him as well. People have been super worried about Vassell. I've been a little worried as well. But yeah, he's just a bit of an inconsistent player. He's 6 for 16, 20 points. So you like the point total. 5 points, 3 assists. Hits all of his free throws, 2 for 6 from 3. The 20 points looks good, but the 6 for 16 isn't good. Taking 16 shots for 20 points. You would like him to make 2 more shots. Then he would be 8 for 16. Finish with like 24. So, I mean, what do you want to say? If he makes 2 more shots, it's a great game. But, it's just kind of, people are always on the fence with Vassell. I like Vassell a lot. I think we should keep him, especially with his contract. I've said in past videos, if we get into mid or late February and he's still playing inconsistently, I'll be worried. I said that like 2 months ago, so I am a little worried. But if you look back at Vassell's probably last 10 to 15 games, it's not as bad as you think it is. Let me see. People panic about Vassell, and I was doing I don't say I was totally panicking, but I was a bit worried as well. So I'm not going to exclude myself in it. Yeah, he's 42.6% this season, so that's not good. 15.4 points, so I mean that's fine. It's not that's not terrible. If he's averaging 15 points a game as our fourth option, we'd be fine with that. Yeah, I mean if you look, this is we'll just go back like mid January or so. This is when he went on the hot streak and everyone was like, man, Devin Vassell is back. And that just started on, that was January 13th. He has the 23, 21, 21, 23, 25. So, just five pretty much on fire games in a row. He went 8 for 20 on that 23 point performance, so that's a little inefficient. Then the next game, he's 9 for 13 for 25 points against Indiana. And Indiana's a good defensive team. Then you see this one 6 points, but then 19 the next game. Then he has 12 points, and that's the end of January. Then he starts February, 18 points, 11, 20, 15, 25. But then you see the 7, 8, 6, 5. But then he has a 13-point game, a 20-point game. Basically what I'm saying, he is up and down, but I'm guilty of it too. People kind of overreact to his performances. I've done it as well, but then, like I just showed you, I go back and I look over his past month or two, and comment below what y'all think. But I'm like, man, I'm just overreacting. I feel like we all overreact a bit, because at first when the season started, we're like Devin Vassell is going to be our number 2 option. Then we got De'Aaron Fox, and we slide Devin Vassell to the number 3 option. And then, he's still been a bit inconsistent. So I feel like we'll probably slide him to the number 4 option. One of our draft picks will probably be our number 3 option, or we'll trade for more of a, I don't want to say veteran player, but just a high caliber number 3 option. I don't know exactly who it would be. People have been talking about us getting Cam Johnson maybe. I don't know who our number 3 would be, but I feel like Vassell would slide in the number 4 option. His contract is still good, so he'd be a solid number 4. Actually, a really strong number 4, honestly. I think that's the problem. Season started, we're expecting him to be a number 2 option. Then he slides to 3. And, realistically, we should have been looking at him as the number 4 the whole time. But just weird, because 2 years ago, he was our number 1 option. So it's kind of weird adjusting to it, I guess, for us as fans. We had a Mamu signing. Champagny was out there. They didn't really do anything crazy. I will comment, like I said before, Champagny was playing like 25, 30 minutes a game probably just 2 months ago or to start the season. He didn't get an injury or anything, and then all of a sudden his minutes just dipped off for some reason. I said it earlier, I think we were just playing too good to start the season. We're just winning too many games, because Champagny was starting, it was before we got De'Aaron Fox, but it was Chris Paul, Champagny, Devin Vassell, Sohan, and Wemby. That's what we were starting, and we're winning a good amount of games and playing really well. And I think the coaching staff saw, hey, this lineup works. This is a good lineup. And then they're like, man, we need to finish a bit lower. We're winning too many games. But let me know what y'all think. Did I make that up? I don't think I'm just crazy. I think Champagny's minutes definitely took a significant dip, kind of out of nowhere. So that's kind of weird. Sohan had 20 minutes. Same thing with Sohan's minutes. They kind of dipped out of nowhere. Maybe it's his back injury. It's the one thing I said. He's probably still recovering from the lower back injury, but 12 points, 9 rebounds, 2 blocks, 2 assists. He's 6 for 11. I always love Sohan's play style. He's just a versatile defender. He gives us decent production offensively for the most part. He's efficient with field goals. His 3-point shots getting a bit better, so I think we're definitely going to keep Sohan. He's going to be around when we're making our playoff pushes, because you need a Sohan type of guy that can defend basically 1 through 4. He can defend smaller centers, but I think Sohan's really impactful for us. Keldon Johnson, 4 for 7, 2 for 4 from 3, 11 points, 2 steals, 4 rebounds. I mean, Keldon always brings the energy for us. I don't know if he's going to stick around with us. We'll kind of see how the summer goes, or see how it goes next year before the trade deadline, and see if we keep Keldon around. I'm just up in the air about it. Let me know what y'all think on Keldon. I feel like if we slid Vassell to the 6th man row, that would probably be the best for us with with Devin Vassell being our sixth man. But because that's kind of the role that Keldon would plug in. I feel like he'd just be that energizer bunny off the bench for you. But I always say I feel like Keldon just has too much tunnel vision. I always make the point. Say Keldon's on the wing, there's a guy in the corner. Ball gets swung to the wing with Keldon. Everyone sees it. I feel like Keldon even knows himself. Like, all right, I can pass to the corner for a wide open three, but Keldon catches the ball, jab step right, drives left, bumps his guy with his shoulder, and tries to get a layup at the rim. And a lot of the times it works. It works against certain teams. Sometimes, I don't know, the defender's undersized on Keldon, whatever it is. But as soon as he makes one shot, two shots, he just wants to keep shooting, gets more tunnel vision. And that's kind of always his play style. It's just downhill aggressive to the rim. Um, and some nights it works, some nights it doesn't, but he never really adjusts to what the defense is doing. It's always just catch the ball, run over my defender and try to get a layup. And I don't think he's a ball hog or anything. I think he is a willing passer, but just for whatever reason, let me know if y'all see this as well. But like I said, he'll catch the ball on the wing, wide open guy in the corner for a corner three, just swing it one more time. But just for whatever reason, his kind of mindset is just like a bull seeing red. Like, I'm gonna get to the rim and I'm gonna overpower my defender and finish. And like I said, some nights his defender's undersized and it works, but some nights, it's not working. He just keeps going to it and he won't adjust his play style, if that makes sense. Stephon Castle, this makes me so mad. I do not get it. Like I said, I think he twisted his ankle 5 or 6 games ago. If y'all remember, it was before the All-Star break. I think he twisted it like in game. He just kept playing though. It wasn't like he was hurt or anything. So I don't think that's bothering him. He plays 12 minutes. He has 4 points, 3 turnovers, 4 rebounds. I don't care about any of these numbers. The only number I care about is the 12 minutes. Like what is that? Why would he not be playing 25, 30 minutes unless he's hurt and it's something we don't know about? But I don't think Castle is injured. We need to get Stephon some minutes out there. He should not be playing less than. There's no reason he should play less than 30 any night. Again, like I was saying, I don't know if it's a politics thing with Mitch Johnson and Chris Paul, but Mitch Johnson needs to tell Chris Paul just to go off the bench, honestly. Not to sit down, but he should come off the bench with Stephon Castle so Stephon Castle can kind of play off of Chris Paul and kind of learn on the fly with Chris Paul how to run the offense, because I feel like Chris Paul does teach him a lot. And you've already seen the kind of jump that Chris Paul has made just playing with Castle already, or the jump Castle's made playing with Chris Paul rather. But let me know what y'all think. Again, it makes no sense for Stephon Castle to get anything less than 30 minutes. It's like Stephon Castle has 12 minutes and Chris Paul has 33 minutes. That should be reversed. That makes no sense. We're not trying to develop Chris Paul for next season. He's not going to be here next season. Again, like I said, De'Aaron Fox, I'm not going to say he's learning nothing from Chris Paul, because Chris Paul, he always has something to teach younger guards. He could probably, SGA already played with Chris Paul. You see how great SGA came out. There's other examples, like anytime Chris Paul plays with a younger guard, you always see them make a jump. You've already seen Stephon Castle make a pretty big jump playing with him this season. But De'Aaron Fox doesn't need Chris Paul out there, trying to tell him how to run the offense and things like that. De'Aaron Fox just needs the ball and he needs an open runway so he can go a million miles an hour in the full court. Even in the half court, De'Aaron Fox is going to just blow right by that first defender, collapse the defense, and just kick it out for open threes. Chris Paul has the higher basketball IQ, but De'Aaron Fox creates better opportunities for the team in the half court, creates better opportunities in the full court offense on the fast break. It makes no sense to play Chris Paul out there at this point, except unless we're tanking, which I feel like we are. These lineups we're playing are not the best lineups we can possibly play to make the playoffs. Again, everyone on our team knows more than me about basketball. Mitch Johnson, of course, knows more than me. Greg Popovich knows more. Chris Paul knows more than me. I've said before, Popovich apparently calls Mitch Johnson after every game. Pop watches the games, they go over everything, and Pop kind of coaches Mitch Johnson up or whatever it is, and we all know these aren't the best lineups to win games, and if we can see it, like I'm sure Mitch Johnson and Popovich see it as well. But yeah, just a bad overall game from us again. I'll touch on the Pelicans really quick. Um, Trey Murphy had a solid game, 24 points. I want to go over everyone. I'll just kind of go over Zion. Zion's 8 for 15, so decent efficiency. I mean, 18 points on the 15 shots. That's not too great. 2 for 3 from the free throw. 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, and 6 turnovers. I know he's kind of coming back from, I guess he had an injury, right? I forgot what he injured, but he's coming back from his injury. One thing I wanted to touch on, I'm sure y'all probably know it. It came out in the news before when he signed his contract. I totally forgot about it, but Zion has weight clauses in his contract, so he has to keep his weight. I think it was below like 295 on the contract, and that's nuts. Like, I don't know. I guess he had his agent kind of, you know what I mean, helping him negotiate the contract or whatever it was, and then the Pelicans are probably like, okay, 270, he's got to be below 270, and the agent's like, give me 285 or whatever it is, and then they ended up at 295. But Zion at 295, he's a big boy. Like that's a weird weight. A weird number on the contract because 295 is it's not in shape. But apparently he's like 265 right now. That's what people are saying. There's like a body fat percentage on his weight clause contract as well. And right now, the Pelicans are not playing him in back-to-backs, and they're only playing him 27 minutes a night, just to keep the impact off of his joints and his knees and stuff, I guess. But I said in my last video, I think Zion should cut down. If he cut down to like 255, 250, people might say that's not possible. What was he, like 255 at Duke, wasn't he? If he cut back to his like Duke weight, he was like super slim, if you remember. He was in really good shape, and then I don't want to say he ballooned, but he made it into the NBA, and then his weight has gone up a bit. I think there was a time when he was just about 300 pounds, maybe last year, 2 years ago. Now he slimmed up a bit again, but looked like he was like 275 out there to me. They said he was 265, but again with Zion, he got his max contract. He doesn't seem to have just like the work ethic, I guess, or the willpower with his dieting to get himself in shape and be the best version of himself he can possibly be. I said in my last video they drafted Zion, I think it was 2019, so he's been in the league for about 6 years. He's not a bust, of course. He is a superstar player when he's healthy, but if you have the when healthy asterisk at the end of anyone's name, it's just a big red flag for me because, Joel Embiid, Zion, there's other examples, but these guys, they get nicked up really easily. I think Shannon Sharp said if you limp into the NBA, if you limp into the NFL, you're gonna you're gonna limp out. But yeah, I'd like to see Zion, take his dieting and stuff like that more seriously and see him, really get into shape. Let me know what y'all think below. If me saying he should get to 255 is just unrealistic, but I don't think he is. 'Cause I think he was 255 at Duke, and that was like the best he's ever been. He was so quick and so explosive. It's not like losing, what would it be, like 15 or 20 pounds if he really is at the 265. He'd just be more nimble. He wouldn't lose any power. He's such a freak athlete that, he doesn't need the 20 extra pounds. Like, he's already bigger and stronger than everybody. Then he could lose 20 pounds and still be bigger and stronger than everyone. But, with that being said, solid game for Zion. I've said before, I don't think he'll ever be a number one option. He'd be like a number two option on a championship team. I could see him being that, if his work ethic, gets right and gets consistent. But when you put him next to like maybe a Trae Young or one of those types of Cade Cunningham, kind of like a pass first point guard that can really get Zion easy looks, I think you really see him shine then. To be fair to the Pelicans, though, I said last video, you shouldn't draft a number one overall pick, which Zion was number one overall in 2019, and now it's 2025, and they're trying to get the number one pick overall again, or at least get a high lottery pick. So if you draft number one overall and then 5 years later, you know what I mean, you're not even close to the playoffs and you're trying to get a lottery pick again, I feel like the mission kind of failed. But to be fair, Herb Jones is out with the injury. DeJounte Murray has the torn Achilles. I think the Pelicans finished number 8 seed just last year. So, we got to give them the benefit of the doubt with the DeJounte Murray injury, with Herb Jones being out. So, I mean, if they can get a high lottery pick and then, get Herb Jones back healthy, get DeJounte back healthy next season, the Pelicans will be fun to watch, and they should be a playoff team again, at least a play-in team, in my opinion. But yeah, please comment below what you think about just how the Spurs played. If you think we're just totally tanking at this point, because I think we basically are. Please like and subscribe as well if you enjoyed the video. Trying to get to the 30 subscribers by the end of the day, and we'll see y'all for the next one.